Hello, this is Patrick Franklin's PowerPoint presentation regarding cybersecurity and data breach response. Throughout these slides, I will discuss what cybersecurity and data breach response is, the impact they have on MIS, their effectiveness and efficiency. I will give an example. I will give what the human element brings to the topic. And another interesting fact that I found out about cybersecurity and data breach response. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting computers, networks, programs, and data from digital attacks, damage, or unauthorized access. Three main goals and key requirements are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Data breach response is the organization's structured process to contain, investigate, and recover from a cyber attack or data leak. It is set up using a critical lifestyle which consists of containment, risk assessment, forensic investigation, stakeholder notification, and systemic recovery. Some essential members that are part of the team dealing with cyber attacks and finding out what happened, how do we problem solve this, how do we stop it in the future. The members are IT, cybersecurity team, comms, C-Right, your HR team, the compliance team, and a forensic expert team. The effectiveness that cybersecurity and data breach response has on MIS is that they reshape operations by forcing a shift from routine data processing to active threat management, network isolation, and resource redirection. There are two different kinds of impact. One impacts daily routines. The other impact deals with long-term strategies. Daily routines create operational disruptions and controls, which are system downtime, access restrictions, resource shifting, or reallocation and access bottleneck. Long-term strategies that are affected deal with audit pressures, mandatory repairing, architecture overhauls, rigorous backup protocols, and compliance integration. Three items that are effective for cybersecurity and data breach response are risk mitigation, regulatory compliance, and asset protection. Risk mitigation cuts the likelihood and impact of your data loss through proactive design and defense. The regulatory compliance meets legal mandates for reporting and data privacy across various state and federal frameworks. And the asset protection safeguards your database, customer records, and internal communications from unauthorized access. Some efficient aspects of cybersecurity and data breach response deal with come from cost reduction, streamlined operations, and resource allocations. Cost reduction lowers your overall recovery expenses and avoids steep regulatory fines. The streamlined operations uses automated monitoring tools to resolve alerts quickly without manual delays. And the resource allocation focuses your IT staff on core business goals rather than emergency firefighting. An example dealing with cybersecurity and data breach response comes from the 2013 Target issue that dealt with a breach within the system. Through an article, Enterprise Data Breach Causes, Challenges, Prevention, and Future Directions by Chang Lang, I found out that the 2013 breach was caused by malicious outsiders, and this all stemmed from a third-party vendor that deals with Target called Fazio Mechanical Services. What they do is they handle the remote monitoring, energy consumption, and the temperature of the stores for Target. They were attacked through phishing, which could have came from emails, maybe a text. That's how this all started, and the result ended up costing Target over $248 million, which is amongst one of the biggest in history for a retail store. It dealt with the criminals getting 40 million payment card information and over 70 million customers' personal information. The human element perspective dealing with cybersecurity and data breach response stems from basically the concept of us being human, that we are very vulnerable and we create vulnerability within all the kind of networks, the ability to keep things safe and keep harmful people out from getting information within the data and security realm. One of the biggest issues usually is the response or the idea of how to answer the question, what do we do now when there is a breach? Something interesting I found from an article dealt with the challenges and the best practices to handle any kind of breach that might happen to your company. One, it dealt with the threats, which stem from two different kinds of sources, either outside of the company or it could be internal. The outside sources are any kind of a data breach, ransomware attacks, or any kind of phishing, which stems from like either emails, texts, potentially even phone calls. Within the internal part of the company, that's usually comes from personal or sensitive information that the employees have access to. Good ways to help prevent any type of threats would creating a qualitative approach, and this deals with creating a robust security protocols within your business, constantly having updated training programs for your employees, and creating multi-layered security models.